Story 1. Christmas Decoration Bait and Switch. My husband and I have a board hanging on our wall that's a list of everything we want and need for our home. It includes the cost, what we've saved up for each item, and when we expect to be able to get it. Things like a new fridge, dishwasher, nice knife set, and other wishlist items. I even include pictures, model numbers, and detailed descriptions for a lot of these items. I'm really proud of it. My dad and his wife, Smom, visit fairly regularly, and Smom always makes a point of looking at the board. She'll comment on it and express how sad she is that we can't afford everything on it. Then, within a week or so, she'll buy one of the exact items on my list, though, for herself. Sometimes it's something small like a coffee maker. Other times it's a larger item like a motorized toy car for her kids. What annoys me isn't her buying the things, it's the way she rubs it in my face. She acts like she's gotten it first, or that I'm copying her when I finally get something. It's childish and super irritating. One day, right after Thanksgiving, I was walking through a local store's Christmas section, looking for new ideas for my board. That's when I stumbled upon this giant, ugly, super expensive outdoor Christmas decoration set. It was definitely not Smom's style, but I figured, why not? Maybe I could get her with this one. When I got home, I added the set to the high priority section of my board, even going so far as to shift funds from other items to make it seem like we were going to get this monstrosity soon. I was hoping it would tempt Smom enough, especially if I made it seem really important. A few days later, my dad and Smom came over, and of course, she immediately went on my board. She asked about the set, and I gushed about it, making it sound like it was the key to making my Christmas dreams come true. I really love Christmas. I laid it on thick. A few days after that, we went to visit my dad, at Smom's request. Sure enough, she had bought the entire set and put it up. It was ugly. Over the top. I hated it. And it was hilarious. She immediately started going off about why she fell in love with it, and how she had to have it. She made a huge deal out of every little piece, telling me it was so worth the money. Finally, she finished up her gloating by telling me, I really have to admit, you have great taste. Sorry I beat you to it, though. I looked her straight in the eye and said, oh, I don't actually like it. I just put it on the board to mess with husband. He hates over-the-top stuff like that. Glad you love it, though. If her smile had fallen any harder, it would have hit the floor. The rest of the visit was pretty awkward. She barely said anything. She looked like a kid who had just gotten coal for Christmas. My dad kept asking her what was wrong, and she just kept saying, I'm fine, until eventually she claimed to have a headache and went to bed early. Since then, she's refused to talk to me. No more of her usual texts or calls. Best Christmas ever. Oh, and this morning, I saw that she posted the entire decoration set in a Facebook cell group, offering it for pickup after Christmas. So yeah, definitely the best Christmas ever. Merry Christmas, everyone. Comment 1. I really wish it was colder here, because that trolling is going to keep my petty heart warm for days. Honestly, I don't see the joy in one-upmanship. How does buying something first give anyone satisfaction? Unless it's knowing what gift to get you and DH. Or asking your opinion on kitchen appliances as it seems you do your research. We need a new coffee maker. Ours takes forever to make a pot of mediocre coffee. What do you recommend? But yeah, I bought your coveted knife set first. Doesn't make any sense. Comment 2. OMG. You're the hero everyone needs. That is the best story. Comment 3. At first, I thought you meant that she gets it first for you. Like she gifts you things you want. But she just gets them for herself? She gets toys for your kid and keeps them at her house out of spite? What a tool. Story 2. Westing Venue made an update I don't think they intended us to see. First, just wanted to say that I'm glad this sub exists. I was hoping our own wedding planning process would avoid too much MIL drama, but here we are. My fiancé and I are trying to nail down a venue. Her parents have offered to pay for the wedding itself, which is huge. Neither of us are well off, so any help is welcome. But my soon-to-be ML has decided that what planning we had started wasn't good enough. Our colors aren't right, our cake choice is bad, nothing is fancy enough for her, and many more things. Yesterday, my fiancée and her mom went to a venue we're considering. My fiancée liked it, though it's probably not our top choice, but ML didn't. During the tour, MIL kept steamrolling my fiancé when it came to opinions on various things about the venue and what we want in our wedding. My fiancé was on the verge of tears that evening, and we hit the "what if we just eloped" stage of dealing with her nonsense. Jump to today. Both my fiancé and MIL get an email that the venue has updated something in our profile with them. The fun part read: "This event has been updated. Change description. This is mom's wedding. Her daughter is conveniently the bride. Have a few other tours left before making a decision. Mom wants a live band. 80 to 100 guests. Bougie people, plated dinner on real china, meat and 3. Fiancé," and I laughed at her mom being called out by the venue like that. Maybe if we're lucky, it'll be a wake-up call to how overbearing she's being. Comment 1. Gently, I hope you don't count on this wake-up call. There's a reason the venue is going to this extreme. There's a reason your fiancé is near tears at the end of a tour. A woman who wants a beautiful wedding doesn't start considering elopement unless she's feeling desperate and trapped. Like, this might even be a last-ditch effort to drive away business that they know will be awful. I think the best thing you can do for your fiancé is to take this quite seriously. Comment 2. I think a nice thank you note with some cookies should be delivered to that wedding venue team. That's the funniest, I don't ever want to work with that mother/client I've ever heard. Maybe ML will catch a clue, probably not. But you two should feel seen and understood, and those folks are good. Comment 3. This would seal the deal on this venue for me. They know what's up and would work with you to keep her in line. Story 3. So you want to be both racist and willfully ignorant? Let my ML show you how. This woman. She's something else. I have an extremely narcissistic mother, so my ML's antics are almost tame in comparison. Plus, I have a degree in child development and taught preschool for years, so I'm well equipped to handle her behavior. And yet, she still manages to amaze me. I don't think I've ever encountered anyone with such a profound lack of social awareness and empathy. At least my own narcissistic mother has the decency to pretend to be empathetic. My MIL genuinely has no clue. She's completely oblivious to social cues, can't read a room, has zero ability to see things from other people's perspectives, and, of course, lacks any self-awareness. Combine that with her complete lack of a filter between her brain and her mouth, and you've got a JustNoMil all-star in the making. My husband took over his family's farm several years ago. We live in a very isolated part of a very rural state. There aren't many quick solutions out here. When equipment breaks down and we need parts that can't be jury-rigged, it's a day-long trip to the nearest big city. We recently had such an incident, and even the big city didn't have what we needed. A bigger city, about 175 miles away, had the parts. So my youngest daughter and I took a road trip, and ML invited herself along. Here are some highlights from our day with MIL. Atlanta is the worst airport she's ever been in. Why? Because that place is filthy, and all the black people speak Ebonics, so you can't understand a damn word they say. Why can't the Boy Scouts just be the Boy Scouts? The girls have their own scouts. I wouldn't want my son camping and crap with all those girls. Fun fact, she enrolled my husband in Bluebirds when he was 4, which was a mixed-gender version of Scouts. They camped and crap. We've had a string of unfortunate deaths in our hometown lately. 2 car accidents, a drug overdose, and a suicide. See? Look at that. All of them white people, too. Why couldn't it be the gangbangers or the illegals? She wanted to hit up a bunch of thrift stores in the bigger city. It's good they hire all those retarded people. Oh, I'm not supposed to use that word, right? What am I supposed to say? I reminded her that special needs and differently abled were acceptable. That's stupid. What's wrong with saying someone's retarded? If that's what they are, then that's what they are. I saw this thing on Fox News about a new law getting passed where you can't vote unless all 4 of your grandparents were born in this country. I support that 100%. You should be American to vote in America. Another fun fact, her youngest daughter has only ever dated Hispanic men, and two of ML's grandchildren are the product of fathers who were undocumented. She refuses to acknowledge this and claims these two grandkids are dark-skinned because their fathers are French. Yep, I face them over that one, too. I'll stop here, because I don't want to further enrage anyone. For the record, gray rocking is the most effective technique with MIL, so that's what my daughter and I did. My daughter kept her earbuds in, and I simply stared at the road and replayed all the delightful things I had done with her son the night before in my head. When we got home, my husband asked how the trip went, and I just stared at him blankly. He laughed, because, thank God, he's fully aware of how annoying his mother is. Side note, MIL would really pull some outrageous stuff if she thought she could get away with it. My husband has a titanium spine and doesn't tolerate any of her nonsense. He's a keeper. I look forward to sharing more fun stories with you all. Comment 1. Do you have good friends from different races? Invite them all to dinner, obviously warning them ahead of time, and then troll her the entire time. Bonus points if one of your friends offers to give her a ride home. Comment 2. I just praise the deity every day that my Mill passed away before Fox News caught on with her generation. She was a lot like your Mill in her lack of filter. Stepson said he risked his life every time he took her grocery shopping because she insulted the other customers. Like shoving some woman out of her way in the freezer section and saying your fat ass doesn't need that ice cream anyway. Or no, SS, not that checkout line, the bag boy's a retard. She would mumble just loud enough to be heard about African Americans probably all being on food stamps, too. Story 4. So, about the time ML broke into our home while we were doing you-know-what. A few days ago, I posted about the racist road trip I took with my MIL. That got me thinking about some of the other nonsense she's pulled, and I thought you might enjoy my favorite, we can laugh about it now story that I bring out when people are comparing crazy relative stories. As I mentioned before, my husband took over his family's farm several years ago. The farm operates across 2 states. Right now, we're in rural state, but in a few weeks, I'll head back to home state so our kids can go back to school. As many of you know, agriculture is almost completely dependent on the weather, so my husband has to stay here in rural state until late fall. That means for about 3 months a year, I'm in home state with our girls, and my husband is 1,500 miles away in rural state. It sucks, but we make it work. Also, much respect to all the military spouses out there. You're a tough breed. For context, MIL works for us and also has homes in both states. A few years ago, my brother offered to watch our girls for 2 weeks so I could fly to rural state and spend some time with my husband. I booked a flight for late September, which meant it had been nearly 2 months since we'd seen each other. My husband and I were super excited and made all sorts of plans for some grown-up, alone time. Fast forward to the day I fly to rural state. My husband picks me up at the airport, and we have a wonderful day together, dinner, shopping, just being all lovey-dovey. As we're heading home, he mentions that his mom is at the local diner with some people we know and suggests we pop in to say hello to avoid her dropping by the house later. So, we do. We're at the local diner for over an hour. We have a few drinks, chat with MIL and our friends. I have a nice, long conversation with MIL that my husband joins in on several times. She has plenty of time with us before we call it a night and head home. Remember, my husband and I haven't seen each other in 2 months. So, what do you think we were heading home to do? Even our friends at the local diner were hinting that we should hurry up and go enjoy each other's company. Let's just say we didn't waste any time once we got home. About 30 minutes into it, we hear a knock on the back door. I immediately say, "That's your mother." My husband says, "No way. It's got to be someone else." I insist it's his mother. We ignore the knocking, but about a minute later, there's a knock on the front door. Not a polite knock, but more like a hammering. We ignore that too. Surely she'll get the hint and go away, right? We wait a few minutes. Now there's knocking on our laundry room door. My husband gets out of bed and pulls on his jeans. I wrap a blanket around myself and follow him down the hall. The knocking at the laundry room door has stopped, and I see my phone lighting up on the kitchen table. Surprise, it's Emile. I give my husband an "I told you so" look. He gives me an "I'm so sorry" face as his phone starts lighting up, too. Then it all stops. We hear her truck start up outside and back out of our driveway. I start crying. I just wanted to enjoy a night alone with you, I say. My husband hugs me, and we head back to bed. We cuddle, I vent, and he promises to give his mom a piece of his mind first thing in the morning. The cuddles get a little more affectionate, and we get back to. Well, guess what happened about 10 minutes into round 2? Our kitchen window has a very distinctive squeak when you open it. We stare at each other in total disbelief for a few seconds. My husband pulls his jeans on again and grabs his gun from the nightstand. I wrap myself in a blanket again and follow him. We get to the end of the hall, and he flips on the kitchen light. There's Emile, halfway in our kitchen window, with one foot in the sink and the other foot on her tailgate, which she had backed up to the window. She was literally breaking into our house. She stares at us like a deer in headlights with my husband's 9mm pointed at her, and then this idiot starts laughing. She struggles the rest of the way onto our kitchen counter, cracking up like a crazy person. She says, "I've been trying to get a hold of you guys. Why are all the lights out?" My husband loses it. He puts his gun on the kitchen table and starts yelling. "What are you doing? You're breaking into our house. Are you fucking crazy?" Emile, perched on our kitchen counter, says, "I just wanted to visit." I walk back down the hall to our bathroom and slam the door. I count to 100 because I am ready to commit violence. They yell at each other for a few more minutes, with Emile really not understanding that what she did was totally inappropriate and way out of line. She claims she assumed we didn't answer the doors or phones because the TV was too loud. My husband calls bullshit because the house was quiet and pitch dark. We didn't even have the porch lights on. He tells her to get the hell out of the house and not to come back unless invited. I guess she uses the back door to leave, but I should have left the bathroom sooner and made that dumbass crawl back out the window. Once we've calmed down, we call it a night and go to sleep. Don't worry, friends. We spend the next 2 weeks making up for it. Oh, and guess who's back on our porch at 7:30 the next morning? She waves and says good morning through the screen door. I stare at her and don't say a word. I grab my coffee and sit down in the living room. She leaves before my husband gets out of the shower. I refuse to speak to her for the rest of the trip. To this day, I'm still not sure why she felt the need to break into our damn house. Like, what was her plan? To catch us having sex? To make herself a sandwich and wait until we were done? This is the kind of obliviousness I deal with regularly. Thank God for my shiny-spined cowboy. He makes it all worth it. Comment 1. I agree that we didn't answer the doors or phones because we had the TV too loud is complete BS. I honestly can't come up with any reason for ML climbing in through the kitchen window except that she either figured you and DH weren't there, or she actually intended to either catch you in flagrante delicto or wake you up if you were asleep. And then she showed up the next morning like everything was hunky-dory. After being yelled at. I can't even. Is she the dumbest person in the entire world? Does she have a history of idiotic decisions? She's damn lucky she didn't get shot. This is how you end up a tragic news story where everyone who hears it shakes their head and wonders how any grown adult could be so damn stupid. Comment 2. She knew you were in town. She knew you hadn't seen each other in a while. And she damn well knew what you would be doing. The point of it all? Ruin your night and play the concerned old lady wanting to spend time with family card. Your DH sounds like he did great job of shutting her shit down, but if he hadn't, I bet there would have been even more interruptions during your visit. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.